Hey guys, I'm really excited to announce that registration is now open for the Self Storage Summit. So go to theselfstoragesummit.com. So the big question is this: how are those in the self-storage industry like us going to be successful in today's market? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Jim Ross, and welcome to the Self Storage Show. Hi everyone, this is Jim Ross in the Self Storage Show. Today's episode, I'm excited to have Scott Worden with me. Scott's the Business Development Manager over at Call Potential. How's it going, Scott?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I was at the SSA event not too long ago there in Vegas. Now you guys are doing the round tables, which are always fun. It's kind of like speed dating for storage, and then you got your 15 minutes, you bounce around all the different topics and things like that. And I know yours was going crazy, but
Yeah.
before we get into that, first, I want to tell me a little about yourself. You and
Yeah.
the stores and Call Potential, all that little backstory.
Yeah. So I've been in self-storage for about 5 years as a vendor. And so really focusing on the technology side,
Yeah,
and recently joined Call Potential this spring, and really focusing on some of the new modules that they're bringing out.
nice. It's always something. I love Call Potential that way. They're always kind of on the cusp of pushing the envelope a little bit on technology. So
Yep.
cool. But I know your roundtable discussion was a little bit different. It wasn't just the bright new shiny technology kind of thing. It was more talking about customer experience and kind of reflective of your brand, that kind of thing. So that's why I wanted to come on and discuss a little bit about that, 'cause it was cool.
Yeah. So it was a topic Holly and I discussed quite at length of how things have really changed. Gosh, in the last 18, to 24 months. And so everything that used to be kind of what was really advanced now has kind of become the standard. So you've got your property management software, your websites that are mobile friendly, call center, and mobile apps, and now we're just kind of taking to that next level.
Nice. So yeah, that's what I'd love to talk about. Yeah, I remember the days when it was like first it was okay. First you have to have a website because no more yellow pages. Like okay, check, we got that. Now it's mobile websites. Okay, now we got that, and it's the call center. Don't miss a phone call. People are catching on. And that's a good thing. It's kind of leveling up everybody's customer service. Is basically what it boils down to. The better you are, the more customer service you're going to be giving your customers. So that's good. So that's why I wanted you on. So yeah,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, and so at the round table, just what I like to do is have everybody talk. And so the topic of conversation is, okay, we all know that security's imperative. Now we have to kind of shift our focus, and really came down to controlling your operations. So operational controls, how that can now define a brand. Self-storage, historically really hasn't had those brand identities.
Yeah.
Public storage, extra space, life, those are now have established some pretty extensive branding, but for the most part, we're a mom and pop still.
Yep.
So we got to go to that next level.
And what's the breakdown? It's like what's still like 78% or something like that of the storage sites out there are still independent mom and pop places. That's still the backbone of everything.
Yeah, and so we need to find out how we can differentiate ourselves as more storage pops up, and so being able to be able to control just what you have. Um, we came up with a new tagline over at Call Potential, and I really liked it. Holly came up with it.
Yeah.
It's own your ops, and so ops is a play on both operations and opportunities. Two essential areas of focus for self-storage operators.
Break it down a little bit because I know you guys do offer a bunch of different services, and we'll kind of tie it together as far as getting that customer experience. But as far as like Call Potential yourself, what are
Yeah.
the kind of services that you guys offer?
So if you think of CRM, customer relations piece of it, we're taking what you have with the property management software and enhancing it. So
Yeah.
we want to be able to, use that as the central database, but then also add things technology-wise to be able to communicate more efficiently and all off of one platform. So not only do we, have people that make calls and do emails, but texting. Um, you'll see the two-way texting component be more talked about at the shows in the future. Um, and social media, just how you and I actually connected was through social media. So we're starting to see, our consumers also connect through social media. So um, there's the services omni-channel using all of these areas to communicate, and with all this stuff that is out there, we can't make this overwhelming for managers. um,
Yep.
it's hard enough, having to do all the day-to-day stuff, not only with your
They wear a lot of
collections.
hats.
Yes, collections, and and getting new tenants.
Mhm.
So it's our job then to make sure that we create a platform that's easy to use, and they can focus on what they need to do, which is rent more spaces.
Well, exactly. And that's always my stance when it comes to technology and what we have now is it's not there to replace anything. It's there to make things easier
Hmm.
for managers. And the easier it is for them, the more they can focus on delivering, good customer service experience. So that's great. Just curious myself, like when you say two-way texting,
Hmm.
sparked real quick. What do you mean by that?
So a lot of times you can communicate one way to your consumers
Yeah,
by sending out a blast text that might be late on their rent, or might be necessarily like a follow up on a lead.
sure.
Um, Being able to communicate back to that manager and to manage all that is extremely important.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I push that so much when it comes to texting. Not even, I mean, for all assets actually, when it comes to when they first call about storage and getting that inquiry to be able to give them a quote, I send that back to them and just that's a great way of kind of boosting that experience of I want your business kind of
Right.
because most people don't do that except for the REITs. I'll give them credit. They're doing that, but for the most mom and pops, it's mostly like, cool, thanks for calling. Click, it's like that lead just goes away. So when you say texting, it comes to mind is because I use that as much as you can when it comes to all assets. Actually, when they first call, getting that rental very beginning, once they are there, and well, I don't know if they ever get late. It's a fantastic way of getting those collections to come in because especially people that are late, they don't like answering the phone. We all know that. So that helps tremendously. Again, it's providing a good service, for your customers. So you help yourself
Right.
out. So that's great.
If
Just
you can find a way to communicate in all avenues to your consumer,
yeah,
whether they're a prospect or whether they're a tenant, um, you give them every opportunity to do business with you and to stay with you. Collections on that side of the business, that's no fun. I don't know of any manager that loves to do their collection calls and listen to the stories. There's two things that happen when somebody can't make a payment. They either forgot or they can't. They just don't have the money. So how can you do that by communicating in other ways, email, text, and try to automate that component of it so that we're taking a lot out of the hands of the manager, and then we can bring them back into the fold when it gets close to a lean status. So now you're still focusing in on, again, renting units, and then on prospects. Bob Copper would always say, he'd walk into a store and the first thing he looks for are the sticky notes. And
sticky notes. Yep.
so, and true story is, prior to that conversation with listening to Bob,
Yeah.
I was thinking, wow, what a great giveaway! Sticky notes. I see them all the time at storage facilities, and he told me, that sticky notes just makes it look awful, but then also your organization of it. So, how do you then stay organized of all those leads? So as you're talking about answering a call, and then if you're getting that information into the property management software, great. Then the follow-up piece of it.
Yep.
So if you're relying on the manager to do the follow-up calls, and they have their list of things to call, how do you know that's getting done? You have a list. So trying to create technology that will say, well, we know that the call was made because it's hooked up to your phone system. We know that, again, from an operational standpoint, that these things are getting done. So those also lead to more rentals and leads, and just kind of reduce a lot of that kind of the white noise that happens.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we first talked about. It's a CRM. For those that aren't familiar with it, customer relationship management. It's following that. What do you want to say? Like lifetime of the customer from kind of beginning to end, and making sure things are being done correctly, and accountability is actually a big part of that.
Yeah.
It's and again, I always come back with the manager is the backbone of everything when it comes to storage. I mean, you're not without a good manager, but having these kind of tools available for them, not only for them, but also for, you got your regional manager that's overlooking who knows how many sites. Things fall in the cracks. They
Yeah.
they just do. So if you have some sort of, oh, there you go, like a tool you have that's helps them as well, it's fantastic. So again, I think, and it kind of always goes back to the customer too. It's not just the manager, but like you said, it's that customer experience of being able to follow up with them when they've called you, because they get busy too. And you always tell people it's not a matter of harassing, but it's a friendly reminder of, you call looking for storage, just following up with you to make sure we can help you, assist you. And so if you have that kind of a tool to help prod your memory, I guess, of following up with those people, because if you don't have something like that, I guarantee you're not following up correctly,
Well,
if at all, really.
I mean, if you could just take a step back and look at you as a consumer and all the things that you want to do, and then how many times you say, "Okay, I'm going to make this call," and then you don't. And so if you did have a call, or if you did have an email or text, if there's some other ways that now they're communicating back, that can be helpful.
Yeah.
And um, that's a big piece of it.
Yeah. I'm always curious, like when you do these kind of shows, like the SSA you were at with on the round table, and you're meeting with people that are, I'd say in the trenches, but that's what they do. That's what they're doing this day in and day out. Sometimes when you're providing a service and all that, you got to talk to people that are actually using your product or using someone else's product sometimes, and you kind of get that feedback. That's how you guys get better as well.
I mean, I learned so much. The roundtable is probably the one area that I learned the most, because I listened to,
Yeah.
like you said, the front line, and what we might think is easy. They start to talk about it amongst themselves. And like, gosh, maybe we need to look at this and make some changes. Yeah, and then the nice thing on the roundtable is, I mean, you have a mix of managers, district managers, owners, some with one property, some with multiple properties.
Yep.
And so it's fun. It's a fun time for me.
No, and it sounds like yours is interactive. That's my favorite kind. It's sometimes you get the ones it's just like them on a platform talking for 20 minutes, and like, all right, I didn't get much out of that. It's I did the same things. I do the round tables. I usually just almost turns into like an AA meeting. We all get around. We have our chat.
Yeah.
Where you at? Where you from? Tell us about yourself. We just start doing like Q&A type of a thing. We learn more about that, and it's kind of funny because like last time I did one, they rang the bell and like nobody left because we were too busy chatting.
Yeah.
And then the table got a little bit bigger, and they rang the bell and nobody left. And then we got more people coming. It was fun. I learned more.
Yeah.
I learned more of that format than anything else. So
Agreed.
I was just curious if you got any kind of
Nope.
insight on that kind of thing. But that's great.
No, I mean, I think if you get the people engaged in the conversation, they are going to get more out of it. They're going to want to then do more with you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I start off the roundtable is, If I'm talking too much, then I'm not doing my job.
Yep.
So I need to make sure everybody's talking more than I am, because I can definitely talk.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just kind of going back with call potential, like what you
Yep.
guys do. So obviously the CRMs, like call comes in, you kind of track that, where it's, the day it came in, what they're looking for, you kind of track that as far as follow up as well. You got the texting feature as well, like, build that communication as well. What else is there, other kind of tools that you have to help, the
So
customer
really,
experience?
we're kind of putting everything together and creating workflows. So utilizing all of those areas, and so using workflows for lead follow-ups. So then again, we're engaging the manager in that process. Same with on the collection side, is to be able to create workflows. um, all the information then is pushed back into the property management software, so it's in the notes. So if a new person comes in, they can see what was taking place. um, if you've got people that that they need to make a payment, they've talked to you and said, I've made a mistake on getting my finances in order this month, I can pay on Saturday. We can delay those workflows. And so we have different ways, following your business rules, to make, again, convenient not only for the manager but also the customer as well.
Nice. As part of this little sidetrack, but I love the fact that calls get recorded, um, and I use that as the training tool for my managers. Talk
Yep.
about customer experience for your potential customers that are calling in. They want to have a good, I don't want to say sales presentation, but it's a presentation. It's a sales flow, sales call kind of a thing. They don't want to be sold, but they want to make sure they're giving enough value on that phone call and giving them enough information that they can make a good decision on what they want to do. And those kind of record of those phone calls are fantastic. You kind of do the grading, all that, and send it to your manager of, could have done this a little bit better. That was good, that kind of thing. So giving that feedback internally, that's going to end up giving you a better, good customer service experience in the long run. As they're becoming better as far as their sales presentations.
Yeah, and really, you can put a script together and make sure you're hitting on all those points. And so if you really are going to do the grading, want to make sure that you've provided that information for the manager to talk about, and then they can help on the grading. But one of our modules, we actually do have a performance manager that will help assist in those grading. So all calls outgoing is recorded. All calls coming in are recorded. We do the disclaimers, make sure that we're following all the state laws.
Mm.
But no, it's that part. That tool has been extremely helpful to be able to assist managers' growth.
Cool. Wait, there's laws about that? Oh, I do my Ever Call Account segments on the show sometimes, so I didn't
Yeah.
know about laws. Oh well, they can sue me. All right. Well, anyway, let's wrap this up. It's been fun,
Yeah.
though. Thanks for coming on. But as
Yeah.
far as people, we kind of just scratched the surface of what you guys do, kind of centered around the round table. But if they want to get more information, how do they reach out to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, easiest is certainly email, but also I'll give you my phone number. My email is scott@callpotential.com. And then my phone number is 602-536-9026. And you can always go to callpotential.com, take a look at our website. We just did new little branding. So hopefully you like our new logo, new taglines,
I saw
and
that.
also, the new platforms that we have coming up.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it seems like everyone's doing the new branding thing lately, but it's good though. It's kind of breathes some new life into it, and you're kind of, I don't know, you hang your hat on doing something new and bringing more out there. So you got to update things. So I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
Good deal. Well, I guess I'll be seeing you, I don't know, next week
That
down there.
sounds good.
We'll see you in your hometown.
Yes. Hey, thank you very much for having me on. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Of course, it's been fun. All right, thanks, Scott.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for supporting the show. I want to let you know that we've just opened up our brand new free private Facebook group. There I'll be having some extra special content not found anywhere else. If you really want your facility to be a success in today's market, then this is going to be the place for you. You can request to join us at selfstoragecommunity.com or search for Self Storage Domination Community on Facebook.